Just when you thought you've heard it all, it's time for Hey Myron on the What's Happening Myron radio show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you hear the music, you know what time it is. It's time for Hey Myron on the What's Happening Myron radio show. And, of course, if you got some issues, I know you got some issues, right?
I think everybody has some kind of issues.
Yep, and, of course, nobody knows issues like Myron. Trust me. I got issues. Some of you know that. Anyway, Ronnie, what do we have?
Well, today's Hey Myron letter is definitely a doozy. I don't think I was prepared for it when I perused it a little bit earlier. But I'm going to go ahead and read this one. I'm still working through in my brain how this whole situation works. So, today's Hey Myron letter reads, Hey Myron. Okay, first off, I know I'm wrong, but I've been dating a married man for about a year. I encourage him to spend time with his family. His wife knows about me, and we've spoken on the phone before. He wanted to spend spring break with me, but I told him no. Now he's mad at me. I think he should have been spending that time with his kids. Why the attitude with me if all I want is for him to do at least do what's right by his kids. Signed, BJ.
Wow, well, aren't you just a wonderful little side piece?
You said that with a straight face.
Me either, actually. But yeah, it's like she's a side piece with a soft spot for family. That's something you don't see often.
If you really have a soft spot for family, you'd not be breaking one up. I'm just sorry.
Anyway, let me find myself here. Well, God bless you with yourself. Anyway, first off, I'm not going to judge you whatsoever. You know, I'm the last person that needs to be out here judging anybody. So, with that being said, let's go, shall we? Here's one way to look at it. Just maybe you needed a break from the guy, and you're using him spending time with his kids as a way of getting a break from him. And maybe he sees right through it. And he's feeling like you're trying to use him spending time with his kids as a way of blowing him off. What do you think about that, Ron?
Well, okay, so really and truly, I just kind of feel like she likes being the side piece, and this is me reading into this letter, but she likes being the side piece because she can have her cake and eat it too, right? So when she feels like having a man, she can have a man. When she doesn't feel like having a man, she can be like, oh, you know, you should really spend some time with your kids, which will give her a break. Because
she sent him to the house.
Right, because obviously she didn't want to take all that time on spring break when she had some, really cool things that she wanted to do and spend it with him, because then that means she has to be in his face 24/7, and she probably had somebody else that she wanted to be spending that time with.
And maybe he sees right through it.
What I have found is that a lot of women who date guys when they know this guy has someone else, is that guy is feeling some type of need, right? Mm-hmm. So whether it's a financial need, it could be a relations type need, it can be an emotional need, but whatever that need is, he feels that need, which means there's some other needs that he doesn't feel, and somebody else is filling those needs, right? So if he's feeling the relations need, then that means that emotionally she's tied to someone else, and financially she may be tied to someone else. Or he may be feeling a financial need, and as a result, just getting benefits of feeling that financial need. But clearly he's not filling all of her needs. It's impossible for him to be filling all of her needs and filling all the needs at home.
I have another way to look at this whole thing. Okay, check it out. I mean, this guy knows very well that he needs to spend time with his kids. He ain't slow. As a matter of fact, he knew this before he came up with the idea of spending spring break with her. He didn't need to hear that from her.
I mean, but
now,
are they not at keep it real status?
All right, roll with me as I explain this one. Okay, you are the side piece. I know that sounds mean, but hey, it is what it is, and I'm pretty sure at this point you have accepted that. However, I said that to say this. Because you are the side piece, you're supposed to act like the side piece. And a side piece isn't supposed to have the man's family's best interest at heart.
So she's supposed to just turn off her human part.
Yeah, that's what makes a great side piece.
I think they call those blow-up dolls.
You have to turn off the human side. And a side piece isn't supposed to have the man's family's best interest at heart. In other words, it's supposed to be fun and giggles between the two of them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, it is. It is supposed to be the place where you go and there's no stress and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun.
It is.
She's not supposed to be trying to get him to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? That's not what she's there for. A side piece is supposed to stick with the program, at least in his mind. You're not supposed to be getting him to put his family first. That's not what your job is. In his mind, he does not want you to have his best interest at heart when it comes to his family. All he wants is for you to see things his way when it comes to the two of you.
He needs to get a blow-up doll.
And when you tell him to spend time with his kids, you almost sound like you trying to get him to take care of home, and that wasn't part of the deal. And I mean, he's probably sitting there confused because he's wondering whose side is she on.
His wife. She talked to his wife on the phone.
That's problem number one.
Yes, they're now friends. They're now in this thing together.
Yeah,
that was problem number one.
Because basically, here's proof that they're ganging up on him. They're taking sides.
Women will stick together.
And how it happened because I didn't even get into that because she didn't even write the letter to ask my comment.
I really want to know.
She didn't even ask my opinion on that. So I'm not even gonna give, because I didn't need to know her and his wife talk to each other.
My thing is, what kind of conversation was it? Was it one of those like, Barbara, this is Shirley? You know, was it one of those kind of calls?
No, I doubt it. They was probably complaining to each other about it.
I'm like, how you gonna have a waiting to exhale moment between the wife and the mistress? Like, that just doesn't work out.
Yeah, I don't know what this dude did to get in that situation, but just let me get back to him because he's probably confused, wondering, is there such thing as an unselfish side piece? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's probably thinking, if I cared that much about home, you wouldn't be in the picture. Yeah, it sounds really screwed up, but that's because it is.
I mean, is this a sisterhood thing? Like, you know, the sister wives thing? Like, I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose of having a side piece because, in my opinion, and I'm not a man, but I thought part of it was just like the excitement of the possibility of being caught.
Or the other person just not knowing.
Right.
That's sort of the concept of a side piece.
I thought, but I mean, like I said, I could be wrong. So.
But apparently, the people involved in this situation have not read the handbook. They have not Googled. They have not. They not even Googled none of this. I mean, they need to get in touch with Google and learn some things because you know what they have is definitely a recipe for disaster. This dude getting mad at you because you wouldn't spend spring break, that's the least of y'all problems right now. And if he sits around and he whines about that because you want him to put his kids before you, I mean.
Well, and I'll say this, and this is in my dating life, right? I have never been interested in a guy who would sacrifice his children to be with me. Because I'm a woman with children, and I know what it feels like when like little girls want to be with their dads, and their dads are like prioritizing things over them. And if she's a side piece and she understands that she's somewhere on that totem pole, and it's not normally in the top 3.
But she need to figure out what she want to do and what she want to be.
Yeah, I mean, because if it's this kind of thing, then obviously you want to be stepmom, not side piece, and he needs to go ahead and get a divorce, and you can be stepmom. And you can
yeah, because I mean, you know, the way she's doing it, she kind of got it twisted.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, she really do. So my advice to you is get your stuff straight.
Get your life together.
Yeah, get your stuff straight and figure out what you want to be. Anyway, as far as the other aspects of your situation, you didn't write me for that advice, so I'm not gonna say anything about it. But man, I'm sure thinking some stuff. But I ain't gonna say nothing. But there's nothing that I can tell you that you don't already know or haven't already heard. So. You know, if you're going to start off the letter, hey, Myron, okay, look, first off, I know I'm wrong.
It's Myron, man.
You're listening to the What's Happening Myron Radio Show.